Definitely. Just let me know when I'm ready to start. Just let me know when you want me to start talking. Wàhálà life yóò pọ̀ díẹ̀ ṣá o. Kí aláwọ̀ adé àti parí discussion wa láì lọ fídíò. Okay, good morning everyone. I'm Mr. Laboye, the pediatrician and founder at Ask the Pediatricians Foundation. I want to apologize for starting this live stream late. We have some technical challenges, but we are happy that you are able to join us this morning. And today I'm going to be talking about how we can make sure that our children live in 2018. And as Ask the Pediatrician, we are your partners in ensuring that our children survive, because that's our vision in ensuring child survival along with the Sustainable Development Goal 4. And so today, first of all, we're going to look at some statistics in Nigeria, especially for those of us who live in this part of the world. We have a lot of high mortality of our under 5. In fact, 2,300 children die every day below the age of 5. And 145 women of childbearing age die, and this is very, very concerning. And in fact, Nigeria is one of the largest contributors when it comes to child and maternal mortality. Unfortunately, and what actually makes it very sad is that these deaths are things that are completely preventable in most instances. If you look at the figures again, every 10 minutes, a woman die as a result of either pregnancy or childbirth, and that gives us about 53,000 in a year. I mean, that means about 800 women die for every 100,000 live births. And in fact, it is said that the risk of a woman dying from pregnancy, childbirth is about 1 in 13. I mean, that's very, very sad. And also for our children, about 5 million children die every year below the age of 5. And that's about 11,000 children every day. And that is very, very sad. And we as pediatricians, we are committed to make sure that these statistics reduce dramatically. And unfortunately, out of these 1 million children that die below the age of 5 annually, 25% of them die within the first 1 month of life. Unfortunately, these deaths are also preventable deaths. And so this morning I'm going to be telling us how we can ensure that our children become part of these gloomy statistics, to ensure that our children live and not die. Because like I said, most of the things that kill our children, they are not things that are not preventable. They are diseases that we know. They are diseases that we can treat. They are diseases that we know their treatment. So why are our children dying from these preventable causes. What are these killer diseases? We have, pneumonia, diarrhea diseases, measles, of course, HIV/AIDS, malnutrition, which is the underlying cause of death in more than 50% of children, and of course, the newborn deaths. Many children don't even have the opportunity to live long to die from this killer disease. Most of them die in their first 1 month of life. And if you look at this list, you also that these children, we know how to treat malaria, we know how to treat pneumonia. So why should our children be dying from these preventable causes? And what can we do to ensure that our children don't die from these preventable causes of death? That's what we're going to be discussing this morning. Methods that we already know on how to prevent this is what we call child survival strategies. And for us as pediatricians, it's not only about the children, because the mothers are very important. So when we talk about children living, we start looking at it right from even before the mother gets pregnant to pregnancy, because most of the things that will kill some of the babies in the first 1 month of life has to do with what happened during pregnancy or during delivery or shortly after delivery. So these strategies are very vital. I know some of us have had them before, but we need to revisit them, because if we're able to implement, we're able to follow some of these strategies, more than 75% of the deaths, of those horrible deaths, statistics I've mentioned, will be prevented. So we're going to look at what we can do before pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, and all the things that we can also ensure that we implement for our children, that we ensure that our children do not die, they live. And so I'm going to talk about the mother care. Many of us in Nigeria, we don't plan to get pregnant. Women just get pregnant, but that's not right. There are some care that you need to have instituted first before you get pregnant, to ensure that the pregnancy period will be safe, and to ensure that you have an healthy child at the end of the pregnancy. We talk about good nutrition. A woman who is going to get pregnant needs to make sure that she eats well, healthy, balanced diet. We talk about the need to take folic acid. A lot of children die from condition we call spina bifida, and the reason is because it's a sort of folic acid deficiency. And this folic acid is quite important in the first 2 months of pregnancy, and many don't even know they were pregnant, and as by the time they realize they were pregnant and start taking their folic acid, the damage has been done already. And that's why we advise that all women of childbearing age, once you are 18, you're sexually active, you're likely going to get pregnant, you should be taking folic acid daily to prevent a condition like spina bifida in children. And we also talk about the fact that we don't want teenage pregnancies. We should delay marriage as much as possible, and especially for those who are from the northern parts of the country, we really don't subscribe to child marriages, because the body of those children are not yet ready to be able to carry pregnancy, and the challenges of death either from the mother or the baby is quite high in such cases. And that's why it's also important that women are educated. And for us, this is one of the things that we're doing on Ask the Pediatrician. Of course, family planning. We need to make sure that our children are well spaced, at least 2 years, so that we can ensure that the woman's body is ready to take care of another pregnancy. And of course, HIV status. These are very important things that we as women, we must make sure. If you are planning to get pregnant this year, to ensure that your baby will be one of our children that will be alive and well, sure you are ready before the pregnancy itself. And during pregnancy, it's very important that we seek the right care. We talk about safe motherhood. A lot of women think, oh, I know everything, I've had 2, 3 babies, why do I need to I'll wait until I go for antenatal. This is wrong. You need to go for antenatal so that the doctors can check you and make sure that there's no problem with the baby. And when there is a baby that has high risks of having some challenge, they can start doing the right thing on time. And so I want to encourage the pregnant mothers, make sure you go for your antenatal care. And antenatal care is not the time for us to go and gist and gossip and do all those things with our friends. It's the time for us to make sure that we get the essential components of antenatal care. Your tetanus toxoid must be given at least 2 doses. Of course, you must be given malaria, preventive treatment of malaria as well. And of course, to make sure that you're taking your supplements, your iron, your folic acid, to make sure you're eating well. They need to check your blood pressure, check your sugar. all those things are quite important. The pregnancy is safe, and they need to advise you on the appropriate delivery. It's not every mother that can be able to deliver through the vaginal route. Sometimes because of some, either the mother's pelvis is too small or there are other challenges, the mother may need to deliver via CS. A lot of mothers will tell them, oh, this baby cannot be delivered via normal routes, we need to advise CS. But many people say, oh, I reject it because they don't want to go through an operative delivery. At the end of the day, we end up losing the baby, or we end up losing the mother, or even both of them. And that is really something that is preventable. I want to have us to have a mind shift this year that if the doctor is advising you to have an operative delivery, the most important thing is that you have a healthy baby, and you yourself, you are alive at the end of the day. So I think this is one of the things we should do to ensure that we have healthy baby at the end of the day. I'll talk about high risk pregnancies. Those mothers that are delivering for the first time, please, you must deliver in a hospital with a gynecologist that can, make sure that you they monitor you. You're not going to deliver in a church or in a maternity home. There are some high risk pregnancies like that that require professional to monitor during pregnancy as well. And I've listed all these cases of mother pregnancies that must be seen in the hospital. Okay, all right, we'll just go. Before I continue, we want to go on a break right now, and then when we come back, I will tell you about those things that pertain to the children themselves to ensure that our children do not die but live. Thank you.
Mommy?
Yes, baby?
How come my hand knows where my mouth is? How does water get into the coconut? Daddy, how come you have hair on your face and mommy doesn't?
Mums, did you know that 90% of your child's brain growth occurs during the first 5 years? That's why their brain is continuously active. So support their brain growth with Peak 456, which contains DHA.
Mommy, how come stars only come out at night?
Well, the sun shines so bright that you can barely see the stars. They're there, shining bright, just like you.
Specially formulated for 4 to 6 year olds.
Okay, so you're welcome back. I will now want to talk about the childbirth or delivery process itself. You prepare. And another thing I need to let us know that as women, one of the reasons why the newborns die a lot, because some of them, they are born without crying, they are born what we call severely asphyxiated and all that, and that has to do with delivery. It is important that we deliver in the hospital and the delivery is supervised by skilled health workers. A lot of mothers feel another women who has experience can just take my delivery, or I can deliver in my church, or I can deliver. It's not because it's not possible to deliver in this setting, but when there are challenges, when there are issues, those people will not know what to do. At the end of the day, they end up rushing to the hospital, but the baby is already stressed. The mother may even eventually deliver the baby, but we're having a baby who is already asphyxiated, who may likely die, or who may likely become have disability in future. So this year, when you are ready to deliver, please go to the hospital. Let skilled, trained professionals, let them be the ones to take your delivery. And after the baby is born, it's important that the baby cries, and the doctors, the nurses, they know how to resuscitate the baby so that the baby will cry. And there are other things that they must give to the baby. And if you are in labor and 1 or 2 days, I mean, for more than 12 hours, that means that there's a problem. And we should not wait and say, okay, I'll wait. Well, maybe if they advise, let's go for sales, it's not it. It's time to make sure that you listen. The most important thing, like I keep emphasizing, is to have and help the baby. And all these skills of operative delivery is to help us. It's not to stigmatize us. There's no extra advantage saying because I deliver vaginally, I'm a superwoman. The women that deliver 3 years are also superwomen. The most important thing is that you have a baby that is alive, that does not have disability at the end of the day. So it's important that we cooperate with our healthcare professionals to the care of the newborn, because like I mentioned, 25% of 1 million children that die below the age of 5 annually in Nigeria are newborns. So newborns are a very special group of babies that we need to make sure that we take care of them. And God good, so good that most of the things that we need for the newborn care, there are things that we have within our hands. We know the first thing that newborns need is that they need to be kept warm. They does not mean we should overwrap them, but we should keep them warm as well. Then the umbilical cord is very important. The recommended treatment for the umbilical cord is what we call the chlorhexidine gel that should be applied. And what you need to do is to apply it once a day for the next 7 days, and that's all. But we see a lot of us doing some wrong things. Some people are putting toothpaste, some people are putting methylatum, some people cow dung powder. These are very dangerous materials, and these are the entry point, because that's the easiest routes for germs, all those microorganisms to enter into the body of our babies, and the baby develops infections and that. So please use your chlorhexidine gel, and that's all you need. If you don't have chlorhexidine gel, you can use methylated spirit, just that you have to apply the methylated spirit say every 2-3 hours. Another important thing is that we must make sure that we breastfeed our babies. Babies should be on exclusive breastfeeding. You know, most people think, oh, exclusive breastfeeding is for the illiterate, it's for the the third world. Anywhere in the World Health Organization has found out that the complete food for a baby is breast milk. It contains everything your baby needs. And apart from that, breast milk is more than food. It also has antibodies that will protect your baby against infection. So it's not just enough to say, oh, I can give formula. Formula is also food. But what about those protective agents that are in breast milk, which they are not in the formula? So it's important that we exclusively our babies. And also, in addition, babies should be given vitamin K because most babies, they low vitamin K, and vitamin K is very important for clotting, so that the babies don't, after circumcision, they bleed a lot. It's because most of them were not given vitamin K but so it's very, very important that we give our babies vitamin K. And of course, immunization is also important. And for the newborn babies, please avoid self-medication. You know, we have this concept in Nigeria where we call Ajogba syndrome. Once you have a newborn baby, you see people gathering all sorts of drugs together, ampiclos, nospermine, all sorts of things. And they felt that they must give the baby those drugs every day. And paracetamol, even for absolutely no reason. And these drugs have side effects. These drugs, some of them are even not very dangerous for newborn babies. I've always said, don't need any drug. All your baby need is warmth and your breast milk, and keep them, you know, free from dirty environments, and the baby will be fine. So please, there's no need for you to give drugs. If your baby must take any drug, it has to be prescribed by your pediatrician, not even your GP for newborn babies, because sometimes the GP sometimes extrapolates what we give adults to give the babies, which doesn't follow. Pediatricians are the ones that know that these are things the newborn can take, and these are things that that an older child can take. So please make sure that you just keep your baby warm, you breastfeed, and make sure you go for immunization on time. And if you do that, you find out that your baby will be fine. And if you notice anything, usually we advise that when a newborn baby is born, a doctor should see that baby, and ideally we should not be going home until the first 3 days, because babies can develop jaundice. And unfortunately, sometimes new mothers, especially first-time mothers, they don't know how to pick up jaundice, and when they mix, this jaundice can become severe. Baby is coming to us, baby already developed severe brain damage. So it's important that your baby gets is observed by a pediatrician. But if you have to go home early, you can also go back to the hospital. If you notice anything unusual, you must make sure that you go to the hospital. And exclusively continue for the nutrition is very important. Apart from the newborn babies, all our older babies, once they are 6 months old, then they need to be on complementary phase. And so, starting complementary phase does not mean you stop breastfeeding. You are giving breast milk, but you're also giving, in addition, other food. And they don't necessarily have to be store-bought food. Your local food that you prepare in your own kitchen, your pap, but you need to add other things. You see a lot of mothers, they just say, okay, when it's complementary, just pap and milk. No, there are other food, even your potato, your egg, all those things. There's a way you can mix them together to make sure that your baby have adequate nutrition. Important for our babies. And then immunization. This is also very important that our babies get immunized. And I've projected here, we can see all the various immunization schedule that we have in Nigeria. Immunization is free. The government has paid for it. All you need to do is to go and take it. I know some people have some false concept or beliefs that maybe immunization is to, you know, I don't know, that maybe there are some danger with immunization. Yeah, of course, sometimes some can have some reactions to immunization, but these are very, very rare. The benefit from immunization far, far outweigh the risk. So these are once your baby gets this immunization, they are protected. If they get BCG, they are protected from tuberculosis. If we get the DPT, contain DPT, HIV, and hepatitis, they are protected from those 5 diseases. So this immunization is very, very important. And please don't forget. I know mothers have forgotten. You know, sometimes we remember the first 0, 6, 10, 14, but people forget the 9 months. They forget the other ones. And people always ask me, immunization doesn't end at 1 year. Though in Nigeria, because that's what our government is able to afford to pay for. But there are immunizations to adulthood, but you have to pay out of pocket for those ones. So for those who have the money, please pay for them. But we are hoping, the government is also working with the Paediatricians of Nigeria. We're trying to see how to expand our immunization schedule, you know, further. If you have the facility now, some of them are available in private hospitals and all that, you can get these immunizations, like those for chicken pox, those for meningitis, they are available. Try get them, and it will protect your child as well. Another thing that's very important for children's good health or survival is hygiene. Good personal and mental hygiene. You see mothers thinking, oh, it's okay for children to play in the soil. After all, they are that's how they also were brought up. But you remember that during your own time, a lot of children don't survive because mortality was quite high then. So let's make sure we keep our environment clean. I always tell you, when newborn babies are born, everybody don't need to carry the baby, and if they must carry the baby, they must wash their hands, they must sanitize their hands. And if you're a mother, you must make sure you wash your hands often as well. And apart from good hygiene, that children below the age of 5 sleep under insecticide treatment, actually the whole family, because this helps protect against malaria. Right now we don't have malaria vaccine, so the way we can protect against malaria is to make sure that our environments are free from all the drains, all the things where malaria can breed, and also make sure we sleep under insecticide treated nets that can also kill the mosquito that can give us malaria. Then of course, as mothers, we need to have first aid knowledge. We need to know what to do when our kids are sick. Your child is having fever, you need to know what to do. You need to know how to give paracetamol. You know, I always tell mothers are the first doctors. You are the first person that, you know, take care of everybody in the family. But if you don't know what to do, you see, your mother start panicking, a child is convulsing, you panic, they start putting onions on the face and on the eyes, they start burning the hands and the legs. Sometimes even after the initial cause of the conversion has been treated, we are now battling with the extra things that were added through ignorance. And so it's very important, and that's one of the things we do on Active Pediatricians. Our goal is to make sure we educate you, we give you the right information, because on the internet you're going to hear a lot of things on the internet, and some of them are wrong, some of them are even very dangerous practices. But when you get to Active Pediatrician page, our website, our Facebook, you will get the right information that will ensure that your children, you know, they live and survive. Presentation to the hospital, we see a lot of mothers, the child has been sick 1 day, 2 days, and you don't want to take the child to the hospital. I know economy is really biting hard, but government hospitals are mostly free or very, very subsidized. At least even if you don't even have so much money to go to private hospital, you hospital, you will get the diagnosis for free, you will see the doctors for free. The only thing that maybe you may need to pay for your tests or do investigation. Please, let's not wait until the child is so ill before we now start coming to the hospital. Sometimes even with the doctors knowing what to do, if we are so, if you are coming so late, there's nothing we can do. So this year, please, once your child is sick, 1 day, 2 days, you are not, all your first aid measure is not working. I always say, mothers, you are the first doctors, but please know your limits, know when to go to the hospital. I'm going to be rounding up very soon, and I'm just going to talk about simple things. If you look at my list of the killer diseases in Nigeria, I mentioned something like diarrhea. In fact, just about a few days ago, a mother still sent us a message on Active Pediatrician Facebook group that child died from diarrhea, and she was so shocked that her child died from diarrhea of one day, and I have to be consoling her and all that. And the reason why I'm saying this is that these are simple things that kill the children, and sometimes the progression is so rapid that people don't think that simple diarrhea of one day can kill a child, but it can. So you must know what to do. Once a child has diarrhea, the most important thing is to replace what that child is losing. Give ORS, and you can see the picture. It is available. You can walk into any chemist, you can buy it. You can even make it in your own kitchen, using your own sugar, using your own sauce, using your own water. As long as you are replacing what the child is losing, the child is not going to die. The child died from dehydration, from the stolen. And so it's important that we know how to treat basic things. So they give ORS, but you must also know when to go to the hospital. If the child is vomiting, the child is not tolerating the ORS, there's blood in the stool, that is not the one for you to do. That's the one for the doctors to deal with. So you need to take the child to the hospital. Another common condition babies have is fever. So when a child, recommend that every mother should have a digital thermometer at home. Your hand is not a thermometer, so use your digital thermometer to know that this child temperature, anything above 37.5 is fever, is high. Give paracetamol. Every mother must have paracetamol at home at any time. There must always be in your fridge, in your medicine cabinet. You must have give the paracetamol, and you check the temperature again. You can also bath the baby, you can tap a sponge and all that. And if once after 24 hours the temperature is not going down, it is time to go to the hospital to know what is causing the fever. And another thing is mothers, which is another pitfall to avoid, is that there are a lot of sickness that babies have, and mothers always assume that they know the culprits. They always blame is teething. Everything is teething. The child is having diarrhea, is teething. The child is having fever, is teething. And always tell mothers that teething is a normal physiological process. It doesn't cause sickness. It's not sickness. So if your child is sick, don't assume teething. And many children have died because the mothers assume teething. They didn't come to the hospital on time. And some people also, any child that has rashes is measles, and then they will now think, oh, and for measles they say, don't go to the hospital, or don't give injection, or it's going to kill the child. It is not the hospital that killed the child. It's because you didn't come to us on time, and it's not because of the injection we give. And please don't go and give 7 kids. That's what most mothers give, and we end up having what we call Stevens-Johnson syndrome. These are simple pitfalls to avoid. Cough and catarrh is another common condition that babies have, and a lot of mothers just go and be buying cough syrup. Cough is just a symptom. There's something causing the cough. Sometimes it's pneumonia. Remember the killer diseases. Pneumonia is one of them. The reason why many children die from pneumonia is because it's not diagnosed. Because when the child have cough or fever, the mother is giving cough syrup. She doesn't go to the hospital, and then the child develops severe pneumonia. Before they come to us, the child is dead. And that is why also I usually say for children below 1 year, don't give them cough syrup. If they have cough, just watch. You can, if they're having cough with fever, with fast breathing, difficulty in breathing, you must take them to the hospital. Because most of the time, if it's just ordinary cough and it's a virus thing, it will go by itself, and there's no really need for you to do anything. Those are some of the things, and we must learn to recognize emergencies. Emergencies are cases that you must take to the hospital. They are not for you to deal at home. I always say that when any newborn baby who is sick for any reason, please don't do your doctor hat. Take that newborn baby to a hospital with a pediatrician. I always talk about conversion. The baby is convulsing, take them to, please don't put onion, don't put stick in their mouth, don't do all that. Burns, any children that suffer burns, even you think it's not much. I've seen a lot of burns pictures sent to me on Facebook group, and I'm like, seriously, you are still sitting at home? This child should be in the hospital, should be on admission in burns unit. And any child that has a fall, that passed out, or head injury must be taken to the hospital. Also, a child is having difficulty with breathing, no matter the cause. Even if you think you know the cause, please take that child to the hospital. And like I said, when I was talking about fever, if the fever is not going down in 1 to 2 days, you must take the child to the hospital. And of course, diarrhea too, that's too long. So what are the take-home messages from this, our presentation today? Number one, we've talked about how to avoid deaths in our children. We are talking about how to ensure that our children live and not die in 2018. We have a very high mortality. It is projected that 1 million children are going to die this year, but I don't want your child to be one of those statistics. And it's possible for us not to have zero mortality if we can only follow some of these simple strategies. Number one, before you get pregnant, be ready. Make sure you are ready for pregnancy. Make sure you go for antenatal. Make sure you deliver in a good house by skilled professionals. And for your newborn babies, keep them warm, breastfeed them exclusively, and make sure that you immunize all children. If your child has not been fully immunized before, you can always go and do what we call catch up and get immunized. And exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, and after that, complementary feeding as well. Children have small minor ailments, know what the first stage things that you can do, and then know when to go to the hospital for emergencies. It's not everything that we can do by ourselves. There are some things that we need to go to hospital for, and we should definitely avoid self medication. So in conclusion, I would say that most deaths in children are preventable, and they can be prevented by simple strategies. As mothers, and we as pediatricians, we know what to do, but we can't do it alone. We do as the mothers to cooperate with us, and that's one of the reasons why we have this our Ask Pediatric group. If you look at this picture, our goal is to have a happy and a smiling mother. When the mother is happy and the children are happy, that's the joy of a pediatrician, and that's the picture that we want to see in 2018. So I'm still going to take our question. You can start sending your question in for me to take. But right now, I'm going to tell us what we as active pediatricians we have packaged for you as your partner to ensure that your children survive in 2018. Number one, we have our Facebook group. If you're a parent and you are not on the Active Pediatrician Facebook group, you are not on Facebook, because that is the place to be. We have over 400,000 parents on our group, and on this group you have opportunity to send your questions, and we have professionals that will give you answer. I see a lot of support group on Facebook, very good, but you see sometimes people ask questions, some people give them wrong information. Sometimes I see some information, I cringe, because I know that this is like, and then the person gets confused. But on our group, you don't get that kind of confusion. All our questions are answered by the professionals, and then the professionals ensure that when we answer our questions, we turn it up so that you don't get confused. So any answer you are getting on our group is the standard professional answer. And of course, weekly we also take topical health issues that we also discuss. We also have our Facebook page. If you are decided that you don't like Facebook group and all that, you can just read our summarized discussions, questions and answer on the Facebook page. We also have our website, www.askpediatricians.com, where you can read articles that are written by professionals on all the various child health issues. We're also on Instagram, and we're also on YouTube, and all these, our videos, all our presentations, you can also watch them at your own convenience as well. So I will also have a lot of special events for you. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll take a break now, and after that we can take some of the questions. Thank you.
Mommy?
Yes, baby?
How come my hand knows where my mouth is? How does water get into the coconut? Daddy, how come you have hair on your face and mommy doesn't?
Mums, did you know that 90% of your child's brain growth occurs during the first 5 years? That's why their brain is continuously active. So support their brain growth with Peak 456, which contains DHA.
Mommy, how come stars only come out at night?
Well, the sun shines so bright that you can barely see the stars. They're there, shining bright, just like you.
Specially formulated for 4 to 6 year olds.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. What I'll suggest that we drop our questions on the on this live stream as comments because of our time, and then we'll answer the questions as reply to you. Or you can also drop your questions, and in our subsequent editions we'll just take this, just an intro edition for you to know what we're going to be doing. Weekly we hope to have this live stream, and we'll be able to take your questions. Just drop your questions and we'll definitely answer them. Thank you very much, and bye for now.